Here's another question. Can evolution theories go together with creation? Look, I have a great difficulty with this because the theory of evolution, intrinsically built into it is the reality that death, that the system only works through death. If you can put it like that, it's as each mutation happens and there's a fail in that particular kind of line, then an adaptation is made. And so, whereas the picture of creation in the Bible is one of good and great flourishing, of God's goodness bringing life to everything. So if we're trying to square Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2 with evolution, I think it's really actually hard to square them in that way, because the picture in Genesis 1 or 2 is of God creating out of the goodness and bringing life to bear. So then that doesn't really fit with the evolutionary theory, which is, I guess, survival of the fittest, to summarize it harshly. So I guess there's a problem there. But I also think that actually the evolutionary theory has a lot of problems in it. There's just heaps and heaps of gaps in it. The explosion of life in the Cambrian layer, that's a problem with evolution theory. The number of bones they've got for the kind of layout of the development of the human species from a chimpanzee through to the Homo sapien is the same number of bones that would fit in the back of an Australian ute. That's not a lot of evidence. And there's a guy, not a psychologist, I'm trying to remember his name. He's from Sydney University. He's written a great book which kind of basically explores the sociology of Darwinian theories in civilization. And basically he says, he's not a Christian, he says, but it just doesn't, there's no society or civilization that's operated in that way. So there's just so many questions about the evolutionary theory. I was talking to a paleoanthropologist, studying a PhD in paleoanthropology, so the kind of dinosaur period, but humanity. And she's saying the difference between the various types of Homo sapien species, or pre that, they've got a bone structure, and they're trying to work out at what angle from the bone structure the spine might have entered into the back of the skull. And they're arguing about a 2-degree difference in the angle to work out whether that person stood upright or whether it was on all fours. And they're doing that with just a few bones. I just think there's massive assumptions in that evolutionary theory. Happy to come back on that. But I think, there's lots of problems there. Microevolution, absolutely happy. I think microevolution makes a lot of sense. Macroevolution, and if you read something like John Lennox, the maths just doesn't work. Just the maths to sustain going from no life to life in the short period of time, and the universe as it exists, even with its kind of Big Bang theory, apparently the maths doesn't work. John Lennox, in his book Has Science Buried God, really gets into that.